Gather around, friends, new and old, and welcome to the Powwow podcast. And I just want to say, before we start anything else, we at Powwow Podcast promote drinking and using substances responsibly. Do not drink and drive, do not whatever. Phil and I are both somewhat, or maybe more than somewhat, inebriated right now. I am your host, David, and over there...
I am your other host, Philip.
And we're 8 hours apart here, Philip. So inevitably, if we were going to do this drunk/high podcast, one of us was going to be at a very weird time of day to be either drunk or high.
Right.
And for me right now, it is. I woke up at 10. It is now 1 p.m. So it's the middle of the day.
You are day drinking.
I am day drinking.
And
it's
drunk.
Sunday, though.
Drunk. Yeah.
It's Sunday. So
the Lord
is
said
day
rest.
drinking even... Is it wrong on a Sunday? I think anything goes on a Sunday, right?
Anything goes. The Lord goes, and we all get lazy on a Sunday.
Yeah, why not? I mean, all right. So it's Sunday. I've been drinking wine for a little bit to prepare for this episode. We are celebrating Christmas. This is our second week of Christmas. And I guess drinking is for a lot of people, at least, a big part of our Christmas celebration. So this is our second week of our 4 weeks of Christmas, and we are celebrating that aspect of Christmas celebration. We thought we would just talk about Christmas and involve that while somewhat inebriated.
We'll talk about what somewhat is, but yeah, absolutely. Just the definition of what that is. But hey, I did want to mention one last thing that will actually sort of affect the podcast. This will be my last week. You are usually looking dazzling. Whenever we look at our promotion videos, you are always dazzling, and I'm always looking just about grainy, practically coming through on some black and white film, and I'm just have an old setup. But this is my last week because I bought a MacBook. I used the Black Friday sales, and I bought a new MacBook Pro. And so by this time...
Which one did you buy?
The 14.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, the 14.
The 14-inch, the new one.
Yep.
Okay, you'll tell me more about that once we end this recording, but that's awesome. Cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, mine is supposed to arrive on Wednesday. I ordered mine like a month ago. I don't know.
That is crazy what's
so
taking you. Yeah. Wow. Surprising.
But I'm excited. Let me tell you, I'm excited.
Absolutely.
It should arrive, but before. So this is my last week of.
Well, you were always.
I don't think it'll affect the listeners at all because.
No. But you get to see it and have it affect you in different ways because
when it comes to the amount of time that I put into editing the promo videos, holy this is gonna help. This is going to help my processing power so much. But anyway, we move on. Let's go to the main topic where we're going to talk Christmas. All right. Well, I just want to say before we start, if you remember 2 weeks ago in the Thanksgiving episode, I gave you guys a Thanksgiving recipe for eggnog. We made eggnog at my house for Thanksgiving, and because we're recording this 2 weeks in advance, I am currently drinking the leftovers of that eggnog, which was in the fridge, and it is fantastic. It has Kraken spiced rum, and it is. I started with wine, and I'm now on eggnog. Let me just say, drink responsibly. Try not to mix alcohols, but I'm currently enjoying this eggnog very much. It's delicious. And it is keeping me going here.
Drink responsibly, be inebriated responsibly is how we'll word it. And we are bad examples, is what I think I want to say.
So, totally. Well, totally bad examples.
But responsible bad examples.
Oh, always.
We're not,
yes.
I'm not driving anywhere. You're in for the night. And for the rest of the day.
I'm staying home.
Yeah.
I'm staying home all day today. That's the only reason, right?
Right.
Otherwise, no alcohol. So what we're doing for this main topic is we're going to just talk about Christmas, and we're going to keep it fairly informal. we're not going to structure it
But we have to tell them. We have to
many
tell.
ways.
We have to tell them that we
Go on.
are inebriated. Like, we haven't necessarily said
I
that
think
yet.
that's pretty clear.
It's pretty clear, but we never actually said it. So just so everybody knows, we're both a little not under the weather, but just under the influence of our different vices. So we are both
Of something.
Yeah.
Something's going on.
And I hope that this isn't too painful, because this will either be like one of the funnier things. Like, I'm hoping, though, it doesn't become just an hour-long Seth Rogen thing, and we think it's funny here. We think it's funny in the moment.
I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate that hit on my Seth Rogen impression.
Oh, you caught
which is supposed to be a Seth MacFarlane impression.
That will never.
I hate that is permanently in the Powwow history.
Just
in the history books of Powwow podcast.
It's in there. It's somewhere in there. All right,
it's in there solidly.
Let me ask you my first question here about Christmas.
Oh, hold on. These are the 12. So we each have 6 questions.
Yes.
Which together will make up the 12 questions of Christmas. It's supposed to be like the 12 days of Christmas, but it's Christmas. Listen to me. I'm terrible. Christmas, but it's the 12 questions of Christmas. Go on. Your first question.
What's your favorite Christmas tradition with your family?
Oh, God. Oh, I have a very similar question. But anyway, my favorite Christmas.
We didn't agree on this Christmas thing. That's just you being drunk.
Christmas. No, it's all me, man. My favorite Christmas tradition is probably stockings. I love the stockings. Like,
you like stocking?
We do Christmas on Christmas morning, and the first thing we always do is the stock. What did you say?
I said stocking. I was making a joke about, because you're like, I like stocking. And then so you'd be...
No, I said stockings.
I'm going to go stalk Brittany today. Oh, Megan, I'm going to go stalk you.
All right, so we do Christmas stockings first before any gifts are opened. We always do the stockings, and it's great. It's fantastic. My mom does a fantastic job of making everyone... Like, we started a few years ago, we started a tradition of doing like a Secret Santa thing instead of everyone getting like 5 gifts for the whole family. Everyone gets one person a gift, just to make it a little bit more reasonable. And so my mom, because of that, decided so that she can like get everybody a gift, she puts everything into the stockings. So the stockings have vastly improved since we started doing Secret Santa. And it's fantastic. She does a wonderful job, and she gets everyone a gift through the stocking tradition. So it's easily my favorite tradition of Christmas.
Your question.
All right, my first question. Tell me about the first Christmas that you remember.
First Christmas that I remember, I was a young lad at my grandma's house. I had just woken up from a nap. I remember it's dark outside, and the only light shining through is the orange hue of the downstairs kitchen/dining room. And I go out the door to the orange hued light, and I sit on the top of the stair, and I liked to go down the stairs butt first, like sitting on it and then sliding to the next one, because I was big.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Oh, it's a carpet, so I mean, I'm not going to like hurt anything. It's not like I'm wood to bone, like break my tailbone. No, I'm going to slide down on the carpet because I'm a little kid and I have a big booty, and so I can do that. And it won't hurt anything.
The biggest booty.
For those who have had the pleasure to be walloped side by side walking or something. But anyways, I was like what I call booty bumping down, and I smelled cookies. It was like Christmas cookies. It was so nice. And I just came down, and I remember coming down to cookies. I don't even remember what I opened that year, but I just remember sliding down to Christmas cookies. Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
On the stairs, on my butt. All right. Did you ever believe in Santa, or did you ever know someone who did?
Oh, totally. Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, first part or second part?
The first part. I absolutely believed in Santa. For longer than most kids, probably, because I remember being like 10 years old or 9 years old, I think. By the time I was 10, I think I didn't. But 9 years old, and someone was like, "You believe in Santa?" And I was like, oh, "You don't?" Like, you don't believe in Santa? How weird are you? Like,
you would be that kid.
I think at that point, maybe I knew, but I refused to admit that I knew that Santa wasn't real. But Man, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that was one of the coolest things as a kid was believing in Santa and not. Yeah, absolutely, I believed in Santa. All right. Wait, what was your second? What was the second part of your question?
Did you ever know someone who did? It's not important. It was
Oh, I
just
mean, yeah, obviously.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Yourself.
What is
I
your
know that
least
yourself.
favorite Christmas tradition, Phil?
Wow, this could be dangerous. I gotta break through being inebriated and not say what. All right, what is the stupidest tradition?
Well, your least favorite.
Well, is that it? I think my least favorite, the first one that comes to my mind is driving through. If I don't know if you've ever heard of zoo lights, it's like you go to the zoo, the local zoo here, and like you drive at like the back fences of all the animals, but through it winds through and it comes out to have like these zoo Christmas lights. And so it's essentially just a drive through Christmas light show. And my parents really got into it. I was like there for like my last 2 years of having to do it. So I didn't have to grow up with it like my sisters now do. They have to like go every time because it's tradition. But I wasn't a big fan of it.
Okay. Okay.
What's my question? What's your favorite Christmas song?
My favorite Christmas song. I don't like a lot of Christmas songs. I have to admit, like I find a lot of them really irritating. But I don't even know if I know the technical name of the song. But I always enjoy when it comes on or when I play it. Last year was the first time I played it for my family. They hadn't heard it before, but it was that song that goes, I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only a hippopotamus will do.
Yep.
Yeah, that song is actually kind of a jam. Like it's funky, it's weird, it's just sort of it's set apart from the rest of the Christmas songs, and so it's kind of enjoyable. I can enjoy that song more so than any other Christmas song because the rest of them are kind of samey, a little bit on the irritating side, especially when they play for a month on end. Ugh. But the hippopotamus song is a thing on its own. So that's probably my favorite Christmas song, except for maybe, and this is kind of the most depressing Christmas song, the Last Christmas I gave you my heart.
No, that's not a depressing song, man.
The very next day you gave it away. This year,
yeah,
to save me from tears.
They all know what you're saying.
I'll give it to someone special.
You don't need to sing the whole thing,
but I sing a decent amount of it so that people can enjoy my dulcet tones.
Absolutely.
All right, my question: what is a Christmas tradition that you haven't taken part in, but you've always wanted to enjoy? Something that you don't normally do, but you would really want to do.
If I were to say like Hanukkah, would that count? I mean, you said Christmas, but it's like they celebrate it too.
Not really, but if you have a specific tradition, then why not?
Right. Well, I think they have their own. It's a tradition all itself. It's like the 12 nights. I'd just be interested to try that out one year. Not like convert, but just like to try it out.
Okay.
What does it feel like Christmas time? When does it feel like Christmas time for you?
I guess the 6th of December. Because in
Europe,
there's a big thing. There's a big thing for like the 5th and 6th of December. It's in the Netherlands. It's called Sinterklaas. In Germany, it's called Sankt Nikolaus or something. It's the Saint Nicholas Day, basically, where it's almost bigger than Christmas here in Northern Europe, but it's different. It's like I think in Germany, I remember you put out your shoe on the 5th of December, and on the 6th of December, St. Nicholas is supposed to leave like candy in there for you, like chocolates or whatever. So that's like a big tradition in Northern Europe, which is, we've never really celebrated, but I guess only after that point does it really feel like Christmas. What artist would you want to see release a Christmas album, and which Christmas song would you expunge from the history books? Now, I just want to say while you think,
I already know.
Think about it while I say this.
I already know.
The artist that I want to see release a Christmas album is Metallica. I would love to see a Metallica Christmas album.
Phenomenal. It would probably rock.
Oh, it would.
I would. Christmas album, don't even need to think twice about it. Oh, actually, no, I do. Oh, you know what? Just to piss you off, I'm going to go with Sam Smith. I wish Sam Smith would
Oh,
release a Christmas album.
ah, ah, God, ah, gross, disgusting. No, thank
Disgusting.
you.
What was your second part of the question?
I would pay money to not hear that on Christmas.
What was the last part of your question?
Which Christmas song that is currently, a well-known Christmas song, I guess, would you completely expunge from the history books, completely nullify, get rid of, whatever?
Yeah, gotcha.
I love the word expunge. It's a fantastic word.
It is. It is. All the props to you. It's a song called like Mama's Shoes. Mama's Shoes. It's a Christmas song. I know you probably never heard of it. And it's about this little kid who's singing about his mom who has cancer, who's like dying. And it's a Christmas song. It's so tender. Yeah. And it's like, So it's like Mama's Shoes. And Mama meets Jesus tonight is kind of how the song goes.
God. I've never heard that before. I'm glad I haven't. I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay, your next question.
Pretty sad. What is the most Christmas giving styled thing you do all year? I guess kind of like what's your most charitable act of all year that would be within the realm of Christmas?
I mean, maybe it more applies to November in lead up to Christmas. Christmas. Listen to me. I'm just terrible.
From Christmas to
Christmas.
Slipmas.
I guess in November, I usually donate to Movember, which is the charity that raises awareness and money for men's health, both testicular, prostate cancer, testicular and prostate cancer, and men's mental health, which are big causes that I'm a champion for. But during Christmas, I don't know. I think most of my charitable efforts are in November, and then I don't follow that up very well in December. But maybe I should volunteer somewhere. I would like to do that, I think.
Yeah.
Luckily, I live in Northern Europe where things are more well taken care of than in most of the US. My question: stranded in a freak Arizona blizzard, a newly single Ariana Grande shows up at your house with nowhere else to go. What are you cooking, and how are you celebrating Christmas this year?
Yeah. What am I cooking? I'm cooking up something good looking. That's what I'm cooking. Just kidding. I don't even know where that goes. What am I cooking? I'm probably cooking like salmon is probably my best bet. Maybe with some like quinoa rice. And maybe we'll go like what would be like a dessert, like a nice cool cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Yeah, why not? I can get that.
You're
from
very non-traditional. I have to say, you're very non-traditional. But that has its appeal.
Of course, it does.
Great.
If you could receive any gift from Santa this year, what gift would you want?
I would want a film camera, maybe.
Yeah, you said you wanted that. But
I think
it's like
something that has to do with film.
Yeah.
I just want the ability to make my own films, which to an extent I have already. There's a lot that you can do with what I have, like just an iPhone camera. Any iPhone camera within the last 4 years is pretty decent already. But yeah, I would want maybe like a film camera or I mean, that's pretty expensive, but maybe like some lavalier microphones that I could use.
Lavalier?
Just something that I can use to create. I want to be able to create in a more effective manner than I'm able to currently. But yeah, I think that's a good gift I would love from good old Santa Claus. Santa Claus this year. All right, my last question, Phil, for you. Where is somewhere you've always wanted to spend Christmas, and where is somewhere that you would never want to spend Christmas?
Somewhere I've always wanted to experience Christmas would be like, what about just Hawaii? Because I mean, if you're going to be somewhere, being there for Christmas, I mean, it's not cold. It's probably like the perfect time over there, I'd assume. So you just go over there and
Does it get cold in Arizona on Christmas?
It's cold right now. That's why I'm wearing a jacket.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a desert. Right. It goes to extreme heats on both ends.
Right.
What was the second part of the question?
Where would you never want to spend Christmas?
I would never want to spend Christmas in Disneyland Not even the better Disney park. It's not even Disney World. It's just Disneyland. And I hate how atrocious people can like go and want to be like master schedulers of the entire park to be like plan it all out and be there December morning because it's less of a jam there on Christmas morning than it is any other day. So God, to be stuck in a line of Disneyland where there's a line to even get out of the dang park, get me out of there. This episode of Powwow Podcast is sponsored by Sides.
Meet Sides, SIDES, an app that helps you take the law into your own hands.
Turn ordinary agreements into binding contracts in seconds. Then if a dispute arises, Sides will step in to resolve it for you.
Wait, Phil, that was supposed to be my line.
What did we agree to in the contract?
I don't know. I guess we can use Sides to settle this dispute, because each dispute costs a small one-time fee.
And if you win, which I will, it's all awarded back to you.
Sign up now and get 16% off for a limited time only.
All right, this is Mad Libs, where we're going to tell a story and the other person has to fill in the blanks of the blank spaces in the story.
Yes. You doing okay, man?
Me? Yeah.
You still good? Good. All right. You want to go first or should I go first?
You go first.
I'll go first. Okay. All right. I will tell my story. Well, sorry. I will ask for your input here and then I will tell my story. All right.
Okay.
So first I need a noun from you, Phil.
Grasshopper.
Grasshopper. Perfect. I need an adjective.
Sleek.
I love it. Fantastic.
Right now, do you think I'm more
All
drunk
right.
than you? Is that why you're laughing?
No, I'm pretty drunk. All right. I need a body part.
What about kneecap?
Kneecap. And I need a location.
Brazil.
Brazil. Perfect. And lastly, another noun.
Parakeet.
Here is my story. There once was a plucky little grasshopper. He had always wanted to see a sleek Christmas, and so for the first time in his life, he left his home behind to embark on an adventure. It wasn't far down the road before he fell and broke his kneecap. It was a real bump in the road, but the grasshopper wouldn't let it stop him. With his broken kneecap, he crawled his way to the nearest bus station and hopped on a bus to Brazil. Upon arrival, he met a kindly parakeet who welcomed him to a sleek Christmas paradise. The grasshopper had gotten the sleek Christmas he had always wanted. All right, your turn, man.
My turn. I need a verb.
A verb?
Yep.
Shoot. To shoot, or shooting, or shooted, or shot, or whatever.
Yes.
Not shooted. Definitely shot.
Next, I need a name for a group.
A group like a boy band or like a...
Sure, that'll work.
The sensualizers. The sensualizers. I like it.
Next, I need a sound that you would make if a family member walked in on you and a partner were caught in the middle of something cooking.
Wait, the sound I would make?
Yeah, the sound you would make.
All right. What are you doing?
Okay, now you got to remember that, and I will point to you every time I need you to make that sound throughout this story, and you have to do that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Next one, name of a product you would find in a made-for-TV ad.
The Swiffer.
I mean, that's a real thing, but okay.
The top shelf duster. How about that?
And the last part is a verb.
Chop.
Okay, here we go. Our story begins where we left off. Dr. Nefario had begun his evil plan towards world domination through mass use of public hairs. But where was Captain Pickle to be found? Well, actually, he was shooting with the evil doctor's henchmen named the Sensualizers. He had to be careful, as shooting was considered rather raunchy, and he had a public image to uphold. But he quickly outwitted the sensualizers by using his most recently discovered fighting style known as...
Oh, what are you doing?
Grunting out the fight sounds as he went.
Oh, what are you doing?
For here for this baddie, a backhanded jab with a little...
Oh, what are you doing?
There, and a double... Oh, what's a body part?
A body part?
Yeah, give me a body part.
But
And a double butt sound for the final two. The sensualizers up Main Street.
what are you doing?
As for the massive pubic hairs, Captain Pickle brought out his utility belt and whipped out his trusty, the cart shelf duster, which helped him shave down his competition. Now, with the evil doctor's plan ruined, it was time to chop the doctor himself, and he would chop the doctor like the doctor had never chopped before. Will Captain Pickle defeat his arch enemy? Find out in the thrilling conclusion next time on Mad Libs. Up, up, and
What are you doing? All right, on our once more, we're going to talk a little bit about the first time that we were ever inebriated, and I'm pretty sure I've told my story before, so we're going to go to Phil first.
Well, mine is I was young and just like almost out of high school, and I was with my friends, and they had done it before, and I hadn't, and I went up and got like a brownie, and they were like, here, because I was like, I'm asthmatic, so I can't smoke. So I got half a brownie of medicinal brownie.
And a medicinal brownie, of course.
Of course. And
of course. So, we've all had those.
And so, but I was like a bigger guy, so I ate my half of the brownie, and they're all like slowly getting crossfit and everything. I'm there like, wow, I feel nothing. I don't feel high at all. And then eventually I got hungry, and I was like, And I was like, hey guys, do you want to go to get some Wendy's? And they're like, yeah. Because so I grabbed the keys, and literally as I grabbed the keys, like a freaking light switch, I just knocked myself out because I was like, whoa, I cannot drive. And then I started to feel kind of like how I feel like right now. And it was crazy.
When I definitely think I told this story before, but I'm not 100% sure. I went to a rugby game in the UK with my dad. He took me, and we had some beers at the rugby game in London. So we flew to London, went to this rugby game, had some beers, and then afterwards we went to this Mexican restaurant and had some margaritas. And I got drunker than I probably ever expected to get, because it was like one of those days where you drink sort of slowly, so you never really get drunk, but you get really, really, you get the full force of the hangover afterwards. So that was kind of my experience the next morning. And that next morning I had to fly back to where we lived. So we flew from London to where we lived, and so I was really, really hungover at that point. But I guess the first time I ever felt the effects of anything were the first time I went to a bar. I had my first few beers. The first time I'd ever had multiple beers on end, and my friend and I both looked at each other more or less at the same time. And we were like, "Oh my god, I feel it!" Oh, and so it was a whole experience. And again, I just want to advocate safe, legal consumption of any sort of substances. But yeah, it was kind of funny. And from this point, we would like to hand you over to a sober Phil and a sober David to host this game with a wonderful guest. Here we go. All right, and it is time for the game, one of our favorite parts of the show. And because Christmas is all about family, I thought, why not invite a family member, someone very dear to my heart, on to play this game with us on our second week of Christmas. It's our second week, right? Am I totally losing it?
It is week 2 of the 4
It is week 2. And so we welcome on my brother, Luke, who is an angsty teenager who's way cooler than either Phil or myself. But don't tell him I said that. Welcome on, Luke.
Hello. I'm not angsty. I think that's a bit slanderous.
Well, maybe. It's all about perspective. From my perspective, you're an angsty teenager.
Well, maybe your perspective doesn't mean anything anymore. Huh?
Well, there you go. There's the angst we were looking for.
I love an interfamily quabble, or a squabble. There we go. All right, my first question for you, Luke, since I don't know you nearly as well as David would. What is the best quality all Hoffmans have?
I would have to say probably. I guess we're all pretty stubborn.
And that's
I feel
the
like
best
that's a pretty.
quality.
Is that the best quality
Yeah.
we have?
I think that makes us pretty unique. You know, it's not a very common.
We are
quality.
uniquely stubborn.
Yeah, there you go.
But in a
it's a
positive way.
good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing.
All right, your turn, Hoffman. Or I guess
All
David.
right, Luke. I know you quite well, you might think. So I'm going to ask you this question. Would you rather be the first to skateboard on Mars or sit down and play video games with Elon Musk? Which one would you rather do? And let me just say, if you want to be the first to skateboard on Mars, you have to go and live on Mars for quite some time, I would imagine.
I feel like I can do both if I sit down and play video games with Elon Musk. If you think about it, I feel like I could make a pretty good friend
very
there.
closely linked. Yeah.
All right, my last question for you, Luke. If you could force David to buy you any gift of any worth, what would you have him buy you?
I guess maybe a really fast car. I feel like that'd be pretty nice. You know, I can't drive it right now, but when I can, that will be really nice.
Yeah, a nice Corvette there, David. A nice Corvette for your younger brother.
God, you're so American. No, we like European cars.
Oh, a Fiat.
Like Lamborghinis or Ferraris or Porsches.
Or a
A
Toyota.
Ferrari
right,
would
Luke?
be nice. Yeah, like a Ferrari or even like a McLaren would be nice.
A McLaren.
Oh, McLaren.
Good choice.
Absolutely.
Good choice. I promise one day if I am a multimillionaire, I will buy you a McLaren.
Multi-million. So if he just gets to $1 million, Luke, you are crap out of luck. But if it's a multi-million, if he gets to
It's
2,
got to be in like the at least 50 million. Once I get to 50 million, I will buy you a McLaren, but just don't let it make you go bankrupt or anything.
Oh yeah.
Well, I tried to help you out there, Luke, at 2 million, but he wouldn't budge. All right.
No.
All right, it is your guest, David. It is your brother, but it is my game, very much inspired by you. I will give you full credit. But anyways, so this is an unwrapping game of sorts. We will each get 10 questions. I will get 11 since I have a skipping stone, but we will each host out 10 questions, all wrapped in beautiful wrapping paper, maybe belying what is underneath the surface and what question we can have. Between myself, yourself, and the guest, we will each get 5 questions to unwrap and answer. Hopefully, if you get it correct, you will gain a point. And if there is a tiebreaker necessary, I'm sure we both have that as well. So I guess the only question left here before we begin here, Luke, is who would you care to face first, myself or your brother?
I think I want to go against you first. I want you're a new person.
All right. So
all right, that means that I will be hosting the game first.
Yes, you will be.
Okay, so my game, there are 11 because Phil has the right to skip one question if he so chooses. There are 11 options here. 11 gifts under this digital campfire tree that we have. Gifts around the campfire. Can we go with that, Phil? So,
absolutely. Here,
and they're
give us
all wrapped in unique wrapping paper. And I'm gonna just describe each gift in its wrapping paper at the moment. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's a nice warm fire in the background.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so the first gift here is quite large, and it has wrapping paper with lots of sharks all over it. And I don't know, maybe the sharks. Imagine the sharks are wearing Christmas hats. Just make it a little bit more.
Oh, so
Christmassy.
they're not scary sharks. They're very welcoming sharks.
Yes, of course. This other gift here is round and is covered in soccer balls. So it's a wrapping paper with soccer balls on it. Then we have one with cows on it. Very nice, moo moo. Then one with chemistry beakers and test tubes. Ooh, that's very interesting.
Very fragile.
Yes. Yeah. It does say fragile. Then there's one with Australian flags, mate. Yeah. Too right. Australian flags all over that gift. Very nice. And then we have one with planets. Some have
I do
rings.
see Uranus on it.
Yes, yeah, Uranus is very large on there.
Yes.
Larger than it should be. It's disproportionately large, Uranus.
Absolutely.
And then there's one with lightsabers. That's interesting. One with some random sports equipment. I see a baseball bat. I see a bicycle. I see a
Football.
cricket bat. I see a curling. What do you call it? A broom or a what is it that they use in curling? It's a curling, like, they mop the floor. It's a mop that you use for curling. It's all sorts of sports equipment on that one. Then there's one that's just covered in wheels. Then there's one that's covered in video game controllers.
Ooh.
And then the last one here, this number 11, is all over this wrapping paper is superheroes.
Oh,
so there you go. Those are your 11 gifts, and you guys will get to choose which ones you want to open. And I'm going to say, let's go to you first, Luke, since you are our guest and you are the youngest, and the youngest always goes first.
Well, I think the superheroes one sounded interesting. So
darn you, Luke! Darn you!
All right, the first one to be opened is the superheroes one. Oh my goodness! What's this inside? It's a question. In the X-Men franchise, Halle Berry plays which character?
Oh goodness!
I am that old. Wow.
I'm struggling to remember the names from the X-Men, like the character names. Isn't it? What's her name? Jean?
No, it's not Jean. It's Storm. Halle Berry plays Storm.
Oh,
this is a generational gap, I think. But yeah, no, Halle Berry plays Storm. She with white hair. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so no point there. Rain. We go. She does make it rain. All right, we go to Phil. Phil, which gift tickles your fancy?
If you think I'm not picking the sports equipment, you have no idea who I am or what I stand for. Let me unwrap those balls.
Sports equipment. Oh, and inside, it's darts. In darts, what is the highest that one can score by throwing 3 darts?
I want to say a bullseye is not the most that you can do. I think it's the outer rim that's the most, and that's 60, 60, 60. So 180?
I mean, the answer is correct. The way you got there was wrong, but we won't get into that. 180 is correct. Phil, you get a point. Well done. All right, Luke, we go back to you. Which present tickles your fancy here?
I think we'll go with the Australian flags. It sounds pretty lucky.
All right.
Anybody know the national anthem for them?
I wish that was true. Kangaroos. What is the name of a group of kangaroos? Is it A, troop, B, court, C, friendship, or D, wagga wagga? Is it A, a troop, B, a court, C, a friendship, or D, a wagga wagga?
Well, my first thought is, how have I never heard of this before? I feel like I should know this, but my best guess would probably be troop.
I think it's
troop
court.
Is correct. Troop is correct. Court is actually also correct. There were 2 correct answers here. So there you go. There is also one more. I can't remember what it was. I think it was whatever. But friendship was not correct, and Wagga Wagga is the name of a city in Australia somewhere. So it is not a group of kangaroos. So there you go. Luke, you get a point. Well done.
I want to rest my control and throw my hands around the lightsabers, please.
All right. Lightsabers. In the Star Wars film franchise prequels, who is the only character to wield a purple lightsaber?
That would be Samuel L. Jackson playing Mace Windu. Man, he is tired of these mother effing snakes on this mother effing plane.
Well, roundabout there went off track, but you were correct. Of course, it is Mace Windu, played by Samuel L. Jackson. All right, Luke, your turn. Your third choice here.
I think the sharks with the Santa hats look rather inviting, so I think I'll have to go with those.
All right, sharks.
Excellent choice.
Think very carefully. With some supposedly reaching 18 meters or 60 feet long, what is believed to be the largest species of shark?
Ooh, I'm pretty sure it's the whale shark, right?
Oh, Very well done.
Wow.
Very well done. Most people would have guessed great white. But
that's what I was thinking at first, but then I remembered there was a whale shark.
That would be too easy.
I would have gone with the mastodon.
Well, that is extinct. And it's also not a shark. You're thinking of the megalodon. The mastodon is like it's like a land mammal with tusks, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, either way, I would have been right.
You would have been wrong, yeah. All right, yeah, well done, Luke. You guys are tied at 2 apiece. Very, very intriguing. Phil, we go to you, your third choice here.
If I'm going to play game strategy, because let's be honest here, Luke, we're both just playing a game to avoid the chemistry beakers and test tubes. Neither one of us is going to that present willingly.
Obviously, yeah.
So I think that there are a couple other ones that I feel good about, but I think that the next one that you're going to pick would be game controllers, and I do think I have a knowledge in there. So I'm going to go game controllers.
All right. Inside, we have some very old games. What was the first console video game that allowed progress to be saved? Is it A, Super Mario Bros?
Oh.
B, Halo? C, Donkey Kong? Or D, The Legend of Zelda?
So it's not Halo. It's one of the other 3, and I think Donkey Kong came afterwards, because even though it's Donkey Kong at the top, they didn't make him his own character. It's either Mario or Zelda. Zelda, I think, was a Game Boy, so I don't think it came out on like Sega or anything, or Atari, or I guess Nintendo on. I'm going to have to go with Mario, Super Mario Bros.
And unfortunately, that is incorrect. The correct answer is The Legend of Zelda. You were very close. You were very close. The Legend of Zelda was the first console video game that allowed progress to be saved, which means that you are both 2 out of 3. And here we go. Luke,
so just for the audience, which ones do we have left?
Yes, for the audience's sake, which ones do we have left? Sharks is gone. We have soccer balls. We have cows. We have chemistry beakers and test tubes. We have planets. We have wheels, and that is it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, seeing as we're playing it strategically here, I think I have a pretty good knowledge in soccer, so I think I'll go with soccer balls.
The 2018 FIFA World Cup saw the introduction of what new technology? A, goal line technology. B, electronic whistles for referees. C, VAR or video assistant referee. Or D, real-time heart rate monitoring.
I'm pretty sure it was goal line monitoring. I'm pretty sure.
You say A, goal line technology?
Yeah.
No, that's incorrect. It's incorrect. It was VAR, video assistant referee. Goal line technology has been around a little bit longer, a few World Cups longer, but VAR is only 3 years old. So there you go. It remains 2 apiece. Phil, we go to you next.
I go to option moo. Bring on the cows.
All right. What process is used to make milk safe for human consumption?
That's it. I don't get options.
That is the question, yes.
Isn't it pasteurization?
That is correct. Well done, Phil. You have 3 points now. And so, Luke, how many questions have we done now? We've each done 4. So, Luke, you get to pick again.
See, now I've come to a difficult decision because it's between chemistry beakers and wheels, right?
Chemistry beakers, wheels, and planets.
Ooh,
okay, yeah. I think I'll have to go with planets then.
Yeah.
All right. Ganymede is the largest moon in this solar system. Which planet does it orbit?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it... Oh, God, I know this, I think. Was it Titan? I swear Titan had the biggest moon.
Which planet does it orbit?
Oh, wait, no, Titan. Wait, yeah, no, Titan's a moon. I can't remember which planet it was one of the big ones, so like Saturn, maybe?
Saturn's incorrect. It's Jupiter. It's Jupiter.
That would have been my second guess. Well,
there you go. Phil, do you want to take
what?
You do win
right?
No matter what, because Luca has answered 5 questions and he has got 2 points, and Phil, you have 3 points. So honorably well played, Luke. But Phil,
Very
you
well
have
played.
one. But let's just take a little gander. Why don't you do one more question, Phil, and then we'll let Luke answer another question because
Fantastic.
your skipping stone is moot at this point.
Is moot. I'm going to go with chemistry beakers and test tubes. See if the imposing thing was as imposing as it seemed.
What chemical element has an atomic number of 2?
Oxygen?
No. Luke, do you know the answer?
I think I do. No, but I can't remember. I
You
knew
sure?
it, but I can't remember. Yeah,
I'm sure you do.
I probably.
All right, it's helium. Helium has an atomic number of 2. All right, and then Luke, we'll give you our last question here. Name wheels. Name one of the 3 grand tours in the sport of cycling.
I'm blanking completely.
Just think about cycling. Name one of the 3 grand tours.
The Tour de France.
Tour de
wasn't it?
France is one of them. Yes, well done. So we'll give you a third point there. However, Phil, you do get the win.
Awesome.
And the other 2, if you're curious, are the Giro d'Italia and the Vuelta a España.
Yeah, there was no ways I was gonna know those ones.
Yeah, but most people know the Tour de France, so no worries. All right, Phil, we move on to your game.
We do. My boxes of presents aren't just wrapped like whatever they seem to be, but they also incorporate and embody the gift that they have. So mine go something like this underneath my Christmas tree. Yes, warm up the fire again, thank you. Yes, put in another log, crackle. My first gift will be, oh my goodness, it's inside of an aquarium. Looks like it's wet and soggy. Okay.
Oh dear.
Yes, the next one is a cauldron with bubbles and smoke billowing out from within the cauldron. Very scary stuff. Next one looks like it's in the shape of a coffee bean. Could be a conch shell, but it's dark, so I'm going to say it's a coffee bean. Next one looks like a football. It's shaped like a football. Next one is in a red heart. Very loving.
Just to be clear,
very
it's
red.
shaped like an American football.
An American football, absolutely. Yes,
Okay.
laces out. And then this next one is a red heart. Very loving, very red, but very loving. Next one is a record-shaped gift. Record in putting it on vinyl and playing music. My goodness. Next one is a box. It smells a little, but it's shaped like a piece of meat. Very raw. Next one's a box in the shape of a clown head. Looks like it could be a lot of fun. Second to last, we have one that's just inside of a Happy Meal box. And finally, it's round all the way around with a little impellation.
An indentation, maybe?
Indentation, that one too. Yes, it's a Death Star shaped box.
Okay.
So very diverse assortment of presents here for you both to choose from. I believe Luke got the first first choice when he faced me. So now since he's facing you, David, I'll do the exact same. Luca, you have a la carte choices. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. You can pick whichever one you want, Luke. Go ahead.
Got quite an interesting selection here. But I think the Death Star, the last one, sounded interesting. Let's take a look in that one.
It does, doesn't it? All right. There have been 12 theatrical Star Wars films released. Again, that's theatrical. I'm sure there are multiple mini ones that you can find on Disney+, but 12 theatrical Star Wars films. I need you, Luke, to name at least 10 of them. At least 10 of them.
Okay. We've got... Do I need to be specific with the names of the Clone
Not
Wars?
the episode numbers. I'm not going to be that much of a stickler. But I
the
do
names,
need
yes.
Yes, names, yes.
I don't remember the names of the 3 Clone Wars, but you have those 3, I guess. Rogue One, The Empire Strikes Back. Oh, God.
7 more to go.
Yeah, 7 more to go.
Hold on, 8 more to go.
He said the Clone Wars. It's an animated theatrical release.
It was released theatrically?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
So you got 3 then.
I don't know, to be honest. I'm blanking here pretty hard.
You got about 5 more seconds to think of another one.
A New
4.
Hope.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, wasn't that the first one? I think it was.
It was.
You have 4. 6 more.
The Phantom
5.
Menace.
Yes, absolutely.
Um,
5,
the,
4,
the new ones, The Last Jedi
3.
and
Yes.
the Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
anymore though. I don't think.
Oh, okay. You had a couple more to choose from there. You certainly got a respectable amount, 7. You have, of course, had, you said The Rise of Skywalker. There's, of course, Solo, a Star Wars story.
Oh yeah,
There's The
right.
Last Jedi. You said Rogue
He said The
One.
Last Jedi.
I know. Yeah. Oh, he said The Last Jedi, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
He said Rogue One. The Force Awakens was also available to you. You, of course, did say
Attack
Star
of the
Wars.
Clones and Revenge of the Sith are there as well.
Absolutely. The Phantom Menace, you said. Return of the Jedi
Mm-hmm.
is there.
And
The
that's it, I
Empire
think.
Strikes Back
He said The Empire
was,
Strikes Back.
yep. So there we go. That accounts for all of them. Hoffman, David, I guess I should be more specific. That's going to be
Yes.
taking a lot to get used to. Which one of the rest of the 9 would you care for?
All right. It's definitely tough. I think I would like the football shaped box, please.
Interesting. All right.
Dare
the
I?
football, dare you? This was going to be tough for either one of you, but I think you at least have a better shot at this one,
Oh.
David. Football shaped box. How many Super Bowls have my beloved Denver Broncos won as of this recording, November 29th, 2021? And and just to give you a hint, they have won at
Yes,
least one.
I know. Yeah, I remember. I believe I may have watched, or at least caught whiff of. That was one before I maybe watched the Super Bowl, but I, kept up with, who won the Super Bowl, and I knew that Peyton Manning had won one with the Broncos, along with Von Miller. I know he was in the team as well. All right, I really don't know.
Color me impressed.
I'm gonna have to guess, and I'm gonna say 3.
Right on the number 3. 1-1 with Peyton Manning, 2-1 back-to-back with John Elway. We love it. He is on the board with a point. Luke, you're going to have to step up here because I do not need David to
I'm very
catch up.
glad he answered that one.
Yes. I didn't think you'd have a shot at that one, but there are a couple here that I think might lean towards you, Luke. Which one of the remaining 8 would you care to pick?
I'm gonna go for the aquarium.
The aquarium. Ooh, very nicely done. Yes, very subtle. The blue whale is an animal of regality and nobility within the animal kingdom and a respected predator by all who inhabit the ocean. How much semen does a blue whale produce per ejaculation?
Oh,
A, 8 liters. I'm a little scared that you're already willing to answer, but A, 8 liters, B, 11 liters, C, 13 liters, or D, 18 liters.
I think I've heard the answer to this before, and like a
Sure.
fun
Somebody
fact.
somewhere told you this. You weren't looking this up on your own at all, Luke.
And the
No,
dark web.
absolutely
Yeah.
I think it was 18 liters. I think.
So option D, 18 liters?
I think so. Yeah.
Of course it was. If you think I wasn't going to put option D as the correct answer for semen, you are incorrect. I'm not that mature. David and Luke are tied at 1 apiece, but Luke is on his second question. David,
All
let's
right.
get to yours.
I would like the cauldron. I'm curious as to what's bubbling in that cauldron.
Ooh, it's bubbly. A present in the shape of a cauldron with smoke billowing out, and inside is a piece of paper. It says, put these following Disney villains in their correct order in terms of the movie they are associated with's release date. The original version, I should say. And I will give you the villains' names in alphabetical order as so nothing is imbued or hinted at. You get 1 mulligan, David. You get 1 mulligan. I will tell you that is the incorrect order if it is so. And then here we go. All right.
Okay.
In alphabetical order, Captain Hook, Cruella de Vil, the Evil Queen, Monstro, and Prince John.
Who is Monstro?
I think part of the question is knowing who the villain is.
All right. So there were 5 of them?
There are 5 of them. Once again, Captain Hook, Cruella de Vil, the Evil Queen, Monstro, and Prince John.
All right. I'm going to say Evil Queen first, then Captain Hook, then Prince John, then Cruella de Vil, and then Monstro. Whoever Monstro is.
Whoever Monstro is. Well, you are incorrect and thus have used your mulligan. You get 1 more reordering. And I'll even go one further. You have the evil queen correct.
All right, I'm going to say Evil Queen, Monstro, Captain Hook, Prince John, Cruella de Vil.
Wow, that is painfully close. You only mixed up the last two. It is the evil queen Monstro, the whale from Pinocchio, Captain
Ah.
Hook, Cruella de Vil, and Prince John.
Yeah, who's Prince John?
He's the lion prince that goes against Robin Hood.
Oh.
Did you ever see Disney's?
Wait.
Yes.
Yeah, but that
Did you ever
came
see?
after. Oh, it did.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Okay.
All right. So you two are tied in both questions and points correct. Luke, let's start anew. What is the next gift you wish to unwrap?
Okay, well, we're on even playing field now, so they got to make this count. I'm going to go with the red heart. No?
The red heart. How very sweet and tender. The red heart, we start to unwrap it and it beats a little bit harder. How many chocolate truffles come in the average Lindt Lindor milk chocolate heart box? Is it A, 14, B, 16, C, 18, or D, 25?
I'd imagine it'd be pretty even, so I'm going to go with 18.
He's going to go with 18, and unfortunately, he is incorrect. The answer was A, 14. So now we go to you, David. You could take an early lead. Of course, I should at this point relist the available presents to you. We have taken away the aquarium and cauldron, but we still have available to us the coffee bean, the record-shaped gift, a box shaped like a piece of meat, and a clown head, as well as a Happy Meal.
I think I want the meat. Give me the meat.
Give you the meat, he
That's what she
says.
said.
I'm sure that will age well. Yes. With Tiger King Season 2 being released on Netflix, you get 5 guesses to guess the exact number of viewers who watched Netflix's Season 1 of Tiger King in millions. Make a guess, and I will give you a higher or lower indication from that number. 5 guesses to get the correct guess. And no 500,000, 1.5
Right,
million or anything.
right.
So
Okay,
Just on the
so
number.
I'm going to put my first guess at 180 million,
lower,
120 million,
lower,
70 million,
lower,
50 million.
higher.
Okay,
So now
last-
you stand
last
at a
guess.
chance of 50 to 7, well, above 50 million. So 51 million
Oh man.
to 69 million
gonna-
is somewhere where you must reside.
I'm going to say 64 million.
Luke, I don't know how he got this number, but he got it right on the nose. 64
There's
million is the
no way.
indeed
No
number.
way.
I am shocked that you somehow got there. It never even
It
entered
was
my
a 1
mind
in
too,
19 chance. A 1 in
Absolutely.
19 chance.
Isn't
though.
that
It never
like
even
around a
entered my mind
5%
that you would
chance?
go. Yeah, I never even entered my mind that you would go above 100 million. So once you even started there, I was like, oh shoot, I messed this game up. But
That is still
regardless-
surprises me. I thought like globally it would have. That's so
per
interesting.
Variety magazine. I mean, that was a pretty resourceful place. But you're right.
I mean, I'm not saying it's incorrect. It's just surprising.
Absolutely. All right, Luke. You've avoided some pretty tough questions, but still in all, you're trailing behind in 1 point. Where is the
What is the
where's
score?
the box
2-1?
2-1. David only holds a 1-point lead.
Okay.
Got to even it out now, I guess. Let's go with the
You've got
clown head.
the clown head. Ooh, this should be all full of chuckles. Oh wait, it's very scary as well. How much did the box office for It, the movie It, make? Higher or lower than 826 million US dollars?
Let me just clarify. This is just
826.
chapter 1.
Just chapter 1, not chapter 2 included.
Okay.
So you want me to make 5 guesses and you'll tell me higher or lower?
No.
Or?
No, this one is much easier. Higher or lower than $826 million.
Ooh, I'm pretty sure the first one did pretty well, so I'm gonna say higher.
It did do pretty well, but it's still lower than 826. It is only at $702 million. $702 million. So, Luke, you do not advance here, but luckily, David goes first here for this next one. Where would you like to unwrap next, David?
All right. So what is left? We have the coffee bean, we have the record, and the Happy Meal.
The Happy Meal.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the record.
All right. Which of these number one albums have the current title of most sold album of 2021?
Oh, God.
Drake's Certified Lover Boy, Adele's 30, Taylor Swift's re-released Red album, Billie Eilish's Happier Than Ever, or Olivia Rodrigo's Sour.
I think it's gotta be. I think 30 and the Red album. Although I mean, the Red album really is it called? Yeah, that was the Taylor Swift Red album, right?
Yeah, re-released.
So I think that
Red,
one's really huge, but it also just came out. But then again, it is really huge. So I am going to go with T-Swizzle all the way, the Red album.
And I'm glad you did, because it is actually Adele's 30, accomplishing that feat in under 3 weeks. It's astounding success. Adele.
Yeah, go home, Drake.
No kidding. Yeah, no, Certified Lover Boy does not make this one. And even Olivia Rodrigo's Sour was pretty successful, but not to that. All right, Luke, we're going to go to you first. You have your pick of the litter here with only 2 left to go. We have a coffee bean or a present in the shape of a Happy Meal. Now, in order to even have a chance at the tiebreaker, you have to get this right. You'll need to get this right and have David miss his present. So, pretty important pick here.
Well, I'm not a big fan of McDonald's, and I don't go there very often. So I think a coffee bean is a much safer option.
All right, he chooses the coffee bean. How many pounds of coffee are consumed globally annually? Higher or lower than 7.5 billion pounds? Again, globally and annually.
Annually,
Higher?
Ooh,
yes.
I'm gonna have to say higher. We got a lot of coffee drinkers in the world.
America alone has 130 million coffee drinkers. And I don't know if it's just them alone, but somehow we as a global nation, we all drink about 12 billion pounds globally annually. That is indeed higher than 7.5 billion pounds. Luke, you have tied the game up. It is now a thrilling conclusion, and it could be ended, all for naught, by David Hoffman here to spoil your evening. He opens up what I'm sure was his number one choice all along, the Happy Meal.
The Happy Meal.
The Happy Meal. David.
Oh, you know me so little. Go on.
David, how many calories are in a McDonald's hamburger Happy Meal in America? A, 425. B, 485. C, 525. Or D, 585.
I am going to say 525. C, 525.
C, 525 is his final answer. But it's not either one of your final answer. We are going to the tiebreaker. It was indeed A, 425 calories. Fairly low for a Happy Meal, actually. All right, here we go.
That's a sizable chunk of calories. So
Sure. But it includes an apple, Hoffman. It includes an apple. All right, tiebreaker.
Forgive
Luke,
me.
you're going to have to go first since you forced the tie. How much does Snoop Dogg weigh, according to a quick Google search, in pounds or kilograms for you Europeans? And Luke, we'll go with you first. Any number you want, go ahead. Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. Okay, well, I feel like Snoop Dogg's relatively tall. He's just not very, girthy. That's probably not the right word to use, but he's
not
a
word we like to use around here, so you're fine, yeah.
I mean, he's girthy in some ways, maybe, but
Snoop Doggy Dog.
Do I just have to throw in a guess?
You
the
can throw in any guess you want.
The double G stands for double, like very girthy.
Double chin? Yeah.
So in pounds, right?
In pounds or kilograms, whichever one you want. I got both.
I think I'd guess he's probably like 65 kilos, maybe.
65 kilos. So then, David, you'll have to answer in kilos as well.
Okay, well, I'm fairly confident that he's higher than 65 kilos. So I'm just gonna say 66, and I'm confident that I will be closer.
You are correct, and you are taking home the whole prize. It is 75 kilograms or 165 pounds total for the man. So, David, you take home your victory. A very Merry Christmas to you at the expense of your younger brother. I hope you feel good about that. I'm sure it won't make for an awkward Christmas ham whenever you guys get together this year. But Luke, thank you so much for joining us. I'd ask you if there's anything to plug, but since you're still in high school, I'm sure there won't be. So I want to ask you, is there anything you want to say to David as he kicked your ass today?
Well, I would sleep with one eye open tonight. I'm not but
I never sleep. That's what you don't know about me.
Thank you so much, Phil, for having me on the show, and you too, David.
Yeah, thank you, Phil, for having Luca on the show.
I am very gracious with my time and who I want to have on my show. Yes, no, you're very welcome, Luca. Yes, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure bringing on Hoffman and his family. And now we have a fellow Hoffman to go to, if I so choose to bring you on again, Luke, of course. Thank you so much. Let's get to the scores. With both of us winning, I boost my score up to 18 and 20, while David goes up to 17 and 21. Still ahead of you, buddy.
Oh,
it slaps,
daddy.
Slaps, daddy. All
right, go ahead, Phil.
All right, that slaps is on brand. It was hard because now we're in Christmas, but I don't want to add a Christmas song to a year-long playlist. So, because of that, I had to go more on theme, and I went with Paper Planes by MIA. Because the first couple lyrics are, I fly like paper, get high like planes. Good song, good on theme. Go ahead, Hoffman.
All right, so before we got on here, I decided I wanted to take a shower because I wanted to feel fresh despite being already somewhat inebriated. And during that shower, I put on my waterproof Bluetooth speaker to play some jams while I was in the shower. And I was having a party in that shower, man. I was having a great time. And the song that I first played was Dreaming by Small Pools. Dreaming by Small Pools. And it is a jam that slaps. So definitely check it out. And with that, it is time to say goodbye. But first, we have a few thank yous. First of all, to Cass and Crossland and to Jake Corlang. Thank you guys so much for your contribution to this podcast.
Thank you so much, Tara Amstedt and Josh Hans, for your wonderful contributions to the show and make it look so beautiful.
All right. Follow us on Instagram at powwow_podcast. And tell your friends. We'd love to have them listen. We are on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, etc. Just not stinking Pandora, because screw you, Pandora.
Man, I gotta stop smoking all this campfire. I just start to get these really bad dreams of big old bears.